Susie, can I ask one question? One question.
One question, Mr. Steve.
When we're at council meetings, we're always told, well, go to the committee meeting, and so you can ask questions. And so that's why some of the merchants came here, because you sent them notices saying this was going to be a discussion. And they figured it was a discussion with them, since it has to do with their livelihood. That's a big part of their livelihood. Why can't some of these merchants discuss what's going on here? Because when we go to the council meeting, the mayor's going to say, why didn't you go to the committee meeting? We did go to the committee meeting, but,
That's true.
you know.
Okay.
I went to task with the mayor every step of the way a few years ago.
Okay,
She wanted to
They
intimidate
took
me.
their
Her
time.
exact
Hang on.
thing was, you got to come to these committee meetings.
Okay.
So we're not allowed to voice anything or ask questions. We're
Wait a minute.
spending our money. So where do we get a voice in this process?
I'm not
We're not
a-
allowed to do it at the council meeting. The mayor says come to, and it's on record, it's archived. Because I know I stood at that podium.
Okay, the flyer that went out said, the committee will discuss and consider the project. It's for you guys to hear what we are talking about. And then we want you to come to the city council meeting and give us your input after we make a decision on what the council would like to do.
No, it seemed like it was implied that, and a couple came, and if they come, I mean, you might learn from their, experience in business, being on Johnson Drive, help you make your decision. I'm not a merchant. I mean, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm just talking to them.
And I appreciate your input.
So, I think it would be prudent to listen to some of the people that have experience along Johnson Drive.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
Well, and let me chime in something here. When it comes to, are we expecting the interceptor to be part of an action item at the next city council meeting?
Define what you mean by interceptor. Are you talking about building it, or?
The portion on Johnson Drive that's going to be part of the Johnson Drive rehabilitation project.
As the resolution is written right now,
It
that
is, yes.
component is
Yeah.
included in the
So,
project
as the
design
increase-
elements. Yes.
As the
Presently,
increase in
it's an action item as to what we need to decide on. Well, typically when I go to the city council meetings, I've got a pretty good idea as to how I'm going to vote. However, if there's a venue in which there are people that have come to want to voice their opinion, to help me form my decision for a vote that's coming up in 2 weeks, well, I'd certainly like to have a venue available for them to voice their opinions. And, for them to come to a city council meeting and me decide, well, had I known how these people felt 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't be changing my mind, and then it's all kind of then I don't feel comfortable making a decision right then and there. I like to sleep on things, and
That's a good point. Why would you not take the input? Yeah, I understand.
Mike?
Here, as we were writing that flyer, here's the difficulty we had as staff. We have a project that has all these on it, but our city council hasn't told us which one of these things they want to do and to be part of the final project. It's hard for me to, if I were sitting in the audience, it would be hard for me to know, are you going to do everything that's on that list? Are you doing some of what's on that list? When are you going to decide which part of this list you do or don't do? And I would think that they need to know what things are you going to support or not support so that they can sort of give their input. Well, we disagree with A, B, C, D. But if they don't know which ones the city council is going to consider, how can they give you input? Are you going to consider all of the options?
Could they?
It's hard.
We would need to be doing the meeting.
Yeah.
Susie chairs the
Because the
meeting,
meeting
it's
wouldn't be-
Susie's discretion.
Oh, it's a violation.
We'd have to
talk?
continue
Yeah.
the meeting, which we could
We'd have to
continue the
do that.
meeting. It doesn't have to end.
Yeah, and you can continue the meeting, but I think it's important to know what it is that you're going to consider to include or exclude, because I think it might be that you arrive at a whole bunch of things you're going to exclude, which they probably agree with, and there might be some things you include that they disagree with, but not knowing what you want to include or exclude, what would they comment on?
And I think it could be a three-ring circus, so I think we need
Susan, I mean, so far we have a street and parking and sidewalks and maybe an intersection, but all the, what I would call all the pretty elements, I don't know what ones the city council wants to do.
Did you say maybe an intersection, Mike?
Yeah, because
We haven't
I
decided.
heard it as being pretty much as fact.
Not until it's voted on.
I'm not going to vote
You
on
know,
it.
that's, well, that's what I mean, why not get some information before it's voted on?
Okay.
That was just a resolution, so that was the direction to continue.
Yeah.
Susie,
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I understand correctly that there is a tight timeline on this project
Right.
because we're trying to hit construction next year. And so I understand the way we normally work and kind of this dichotomy that I laugh at when Steve described because I've seen it happen before. Perhaps we need to be a little bit more flexible given the tight timeline that we don't have I don't think we have a luxury of punting this to next month. We pretty much have to make this decision today, or I mean this month. And given the fact that we have to do that, maybe we have to be a little bit more flexible to find a way to get ourselves to that decision.
And what I would suggest is end with a resolution that says what you're going to include, so that they have something to comment on. Because it's sort of nebulous right now.
And I don't
Is
think,
it all the items?
well, and they don't have any copies of the resolution, do they? None of them.
Unless they
do.
printed it
So-
off.
Unless they print it off.
We could go print copies of it off, but they have the list of improvements.
Right. Right, the 8 of them.
It's kind of like
Okay.
pass it, and then you'll understand it. Mentality.
Okay,
Spend the money,
Good,
we'll worry about it later.
okay, Debbie?
Well, I have one concern that I've heard of the council member that still has questions. Are the questions relative to what we're discussing tonight that you don't feel like you have enough information on? Because I think that's an important fact.
Yeah, I don't have enough information to vote for a $2 million interceptor. And I don't feel comfortable with, tax and making an improvement district just for the businesses on Johnson Drive. And I don't feel comfortable with saying something about the, increasing the stormwater utility fees. That's part of the resolution for
Okay, what other information do you need from Mike?
the same things I've been telling you. That
We've been asking for
we've been asking for since, yeah.
Okay,
we
Mike, do
talked-
you know what information they want?
It's basically all of our stormwater information, stormwater files, and we're
I didn't know, it's not. It's just, I can give you the questions again. I just want to know the history of it. When Brush Creek 1 and 2 the mill was levied, when it was increased, how much money you got from that, when the stormwater utility fee was levied, when it was increased.
And I thought that would, the complete history of stormwater.
Well, you just need to give me figures and years.
Basically the dollars.
Yeah, basically just the dollars and what you've done so far.
It's on my property tax, it's on my bills.
Okay, Dave?
Oh, no.
Oh, I thought you said a comment. Okay, Mike, does that give you some information about what they need?
Yeah, this is the same stuff we're putting together for our stormwater meeting with Jennifer Patney.
Okay, which is tomorrow.
No, it's not tomorrow, it's not gonna be next week.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
next Wednesday at 5:30, I think, is
Yeah.
the,
Yeah, is that okay with you, Pat?
right.
Okay, so then
Yeah.
I need other comments about the interceptor and our resolution that's in front of us.
So we're not gonna hear from the audience?
Not right now, not right now. We're going to tell them what we're discussing because they need to know what we're discussing, so.